Welcome, gents. There's something deeply fascinating about Sigma males. They're not loud, they're not flashy, and they don't crave attention, but they hold an incredible power that often goes unnoticed. In a world obsessed with dominance and control, the Sigma operates on a completely different wavelength, quiet, strategic, and fiercely independent. But there's a darker side to this personality type, a dangerous trait that no one seems to talk about. It's not their independence, their silence, or even their refusal to follow the crowd. It's something deeper, something that can either become their greatest strength or their biggest downfall. This video dives into what makes you a Sigma male and uncovers that hidden trait that sets you apart. Understanding this will not only empower you to sharpen your edge, but also ensure you don't let it consume you. If you've ever felt different, misunderstood, yet deeply capable, this is for you. Watch now and embrace the wisdom that could redefine how you see yourself and your role in the world. Let's get started, gents. Number 1. Psychological projection shield. Sigmas possess a rare and fascinating trait. They reveal just enough about themselves to remain enigmatic, but never enough for anyone to truly know them. This isn't accidental. It's a deliberate choice. By keeping their thoughts, emotions, and motivations under wraps, they create a psychological blank canvas onto which others unconsciously project their own assumptions, desires, and insecurities. This phenomenon is what makes Sigmas so difficult to pin down, and at times, incredibly dangerous. When people encounter a Sigma, their natural curiosity fills in the gaps. They assume qualities that may or may not exist, seeing the Sigma as confident, mysterious, or even intimidating. The Sigma doesn't need to say a word to confirm or deny these perceptions, and this silence itself becomes a powerful tool. They let others build narratives around them, often reflecting the other person's own beliefs, fears, or expectations. This is not deception, it's precision. Sigmas are masters of letting others' imaginations do the heavy lifting. The real danger lies in how this trait can be used. A Sigma who understands this dynamic can subtly steer situations without ever appearing to take action. They can use the assumptions others make to their own advantage, redirecting attention or influence while remaining entirely in the background. This ability to blend into others' narratives allows them to avoid confrontation, sidestep blame, or even gain trust without earning it. But this power is not without its challenges. For all its utility, it can leave the Sigma feeling isolated, misunderstood, or disconnected. After all, if no one truly knows you, how can they connect with you? Yet for the Sigma, this trade-off often feels worth it, a calculated price for maintaining their autonomy and control in an unpredictable world. Number 2. Hyperadaptive morality. Sigmas are not confined by rigid moral systems. Their ethical code operates on a spectrum, shifting to fit the circumstances they face. This hyperadaptive morality isn't a lack of values, it's a pragmatic approach to navigating an ever-changing world. While most people cling to fixed beliefs to anchor their actions, Sigmas understand that life is rarely black and white. They move through the gray areas with ease, making decisions based on the context rather than outdated rules or societal expectations. This flexibility is both their strength and their most dangerous trait. In high-pressure situations, where rigid thinkers falter, Sigmas excel. They assess the needs of the moment, weigh the consequences, and act accordingly. To some, this adaptability makes them appear unpredictable or even untrustworthy, but to a Sigma, it's simply being realistic. Why follow principles that no longer serve the situation? Why cling to ideals that hinder progress or survival? However, this fluidity comes with a dark edge. In the wrong hands or under the wrong influences, this trait can lead to decisions others might find morally questionable. A Sigma's ability to rationalize actions can push boundaries, allowing them to justify choices others wouldn't dare make. This adaptability can be unsettling to those who rely on fixed ethical frameworks, as it challenges the very idea of right and wrong. Yet for Sigmas, this isn't about defying morality, it's about understanding its nuances. They see the world as it is, not as they wish it to be, and they adjust accordingly. This makes them incredibly resourceful, capable of thriving in chaos, but also deeply misunderstood. Their moral adaptability is their superpower, but it's also a reminder of the thin line they walk between pragmatism and compromise. Number 3. Expertise in managing two distinct personas. Sigmas possess a rare ability to seamlessly navigate between two distinct personas, often without others even noticing. This isn't an act of deception, but a survival mechanism honed through observation and experience. They understand that different situations call for different versions of themselves, and they've mastered the art of switching between these roles with precision and purpose. One persona is their public face, calm, composed, and outwardly approachable. The other is their private self, hidden from the world, where their true thoughts, plans, and emotions reside. In social settings, Sigmas know exactly how much to reveal and when to reveal it. They adapt to conversations, social dynamics, and even power structures without ever losing their core identity. This public persona serves as a shield, protecting their inner world from unnecessary scrutiny while allowing them to function effectively in environments that demand interaction. To most people, this outward version is all they'll ever know of the Sigma, and that's intentional. Behind closed doors, however, the private persona emerges. This is where Sigmas reflect, strategize, and recharge. This side is fiercely guarded, shared only with those who've earned their trust. The duality of these personas is not a sign of inauthenticity, but a testament to their understanding of the world's complexity. They know that wearing their heart on their sleeve is a liability in environments where authenticity can be exploited. What makes this trait both fascinating and dangerous is how effortlessly Sigmas shift between the two. It's not a struggle for them, it's second nature. This duality allows them to maintain control, avoid vulnerability, and move through life on their own terms. Yet this expertise also creates a barrier, leaving others to question if they've ever truly known the real person behind the carefully managed layers. Number 4. Fascination with secret wisdom. Sigmas have an almost magnetic attraction to knowledge that lies beneath the surface. They aren't interested in what's readily available or commonly understood. They crave the kind of wisdom that others overlook or dismiss. This fascination with secret wisdom isn't about showing off intelligence or hoarding information. It's about uncovering truths that hold real power. To a Sigma, the most valuable insights are the ones hidden in plain sight, locked away in unconventional places, or buried beneath layers of complexity. This drive pushes them to seek out books, philosophies, and ideas that challenge mainstream thinking. They are naturally drawn to subjects that others deem too obscure or impractical because they understand that true power lies in the knowledge few possess. They might dive into ancient texts, study fringe theories, or analyze human behavior at a level most people never consider. What's remarkable is their ability to distill these complex ideas into practical strategies that give them an edge in life. The danger in this trait is its consuming nature. Their obsession with uncovering hidden truths can lead them into isolation, as their interests often pull them away from casual, surface-level conversations. They may even appear aloof or distant, as their minds are constantly churning through layers of information others aren't even aware exist. But for a Sigma, this pursuit is more than a hobby. It's a way of life. They know that understanding the hidden mechanisms of the world allows them to navigate it with precision. While others operate on assumptions, Sigmas rely on their hard-earned insights to make decisions, anticipate outcomes, and stay ahead. This relentless quest for secret wisdom is what makes them both fascinating and intimidating, as they seem to know things no one else does, and they rarely share their full hand. Number 5. They know when to burn bridges. Sigmas have an exceptional ability to recognize when a relationship has run its course and know exactly when to cut ties. While most people hold on to toxic relationships out of fear, obligation, or a sense of loyalty that isn't always earned, Sigmas see these connections for what they are: burdens. If someone no longer aligns with their goals or contributes to their well-being, they won't hesitate to sever that bond. For the Sigma, peace of mind and personal growth are non-negotiable, and they understand that toxic relationships are the fastest route to stagnation and stress. This skill to burn bridges is not born of malice, but of pragmatism. Sigmas understand that keeping around people who drain their energy, hinder their progress, or constantly create drama only weighs them down. So when necessary, they walk away without hesitation, regardless of the emotional fallout. They don't make excuses or look for closure. They simply move on, leaving behind what no longer serves them. This ability to let go with ruthless efficiency keeps them unburdened and free. Unlike those who waste time trying to fix broken relationships, Sigmas understand that time is a limited resource and must be invested wisely. They'd rather be alone than surrounded by negativity, because in solitude, they can grow, plan, and focus on what truly matters. What others may see as cold or heartless is, in reality, a survival strategy. By clearing the path of anything that disrupts their peace, Sigmas create the space they need to thrive. Their ability to burn bridges without regret is a powerful trait that protects their energy and preserves their ability to move forward, unencumbered by past attachments. Number 6. Cognitive dissonance tolerance. Sigmas have an extraordinary ability to tolerate cognitive dissonance, something that most people struggle with when confronted with conflicting ideas or truths. While others tend to seek comfort in clear-cut answers and binary thinking, Sigmas thrive in the gray areas where contradictions exist. They've learned to embrace the discomfort of conflicting ideas, allowing them to remain mentally flexible and adaptable in ways that others can't. This tolerance for ambiguity means that Sigmas don't need everything to make perfect sense or line up neatly with their worldview. They are comfortable holding multiple, sometimes opposing perspectives at once. This ability gives them a mental strength that's difficult to manipulate. Where most people feel the need to resolve inconsistencies quickly, either by choosing one side or finding a compromise, Sigmas are content to sit in the discomfort of uncertainty, without rushing to make a decision or form a final judgment. This mental flexibility allows them to process information from all angles, evaluate it without bias, and make decisions based on what is truly effective or rational, rather than what is emotionally comforting or socially expected. Because they're so comfortable with contradiction, Sigmas can see through manipulation attempts more easily. They don't fall prey to the pressures of conformity or societal expectations because they've already accepted that not everything has a neat answer. This makes them resilient in the face of persuasion, as they don't let conflicting ideas throw them off course or make them question their own sense of reality. They can hear opposing views, understand them, and still maintain their own grounded perspective, which is why they're often seen as elusive and difficult to sway. In a world that thrives on black and white thinking, Sigmas' ability to live in the gray makes them mentally tough and nearly impervious to external manipulation. Number 7. A calculated coldness. Sigmas are often perceived as cold, distant, and detached. But this perception doesn't stem from a lack of feeling or empathy. It's a carefully calculated approach to life. They've learned that emotional involvement can be a liability, pulling focus from their goals and creating unnecessary distractions. So they practice a form of detachment that might appear indifferent to those around them, but in reality, it's a strategic way of preserving energy and maintaining clarity. They don't invest emotionally in every situation or relationship. Instead, they weigh the potential return on investment. If something doesn't serve their immediate or long-term goals, they're quick to distance themselves. This isn't about cruelty or selfishness. It's about survival in a world that demands focus and precision. Emotions, relationships, and other external factors that don't contribute to their trajectory are seen as extraneous baggage, something to avoid in order to maintain the sharpness of mind required for success. To the outside world, this might seem like a lack of warmth or concern, but for the Sigma, it's simply a practical decision. They don't waste time or energy on what doesn't matter to them, and this detachment allows them to move through life with fewer emotional ties weighing them down. It's a method of self-preservation, ensuring they remain emotionally agile and free from distractions that could cloud their judgment. While this calculated coldness can sometimes isolate them or make them seem distant, it's not inherently negative. It's a conscious choice to invest only in what adds value, whether it's a relationship, a project, or a goal. Sigmas understand that emotions can complicate progress, and they avoid getting lost in the clutter, choosing instead to stay focused on what truly matters. Number 8. Skill at sabotage without detection. The most dangerous Sigmas aren't the ones who make a scene or assert their dominance openly. They're the ones who operate quietly in the background, expertly sabotaging their rivals without anyone ever noticing. They understand that true power doesn't always lie in direct confrontation. Sometimes the most effective strategy is to undermine from the shadows. They don't need to throw a punch or launch an attack because their skill is in the subtlety of their moves. With a few carefully placed words, actions, or observations, they can begin to erode the foundation of someone else's success. What makes their sabotage so dangerous is its invisibility. Sigmas don't leave obvious marks, and they don't make it look like they've had any involvement. They know exactly how to influence situations, shift perceptions, and create doubt without ever being linked to the fallout. It could be as simple as planting an idea that grows over time, creating confusion or causing others to question their own abilities. In the right hands, these quiet actions can lead to someone else's downfall, all while the Sigma remains untouched, unscathed, and completely undetected. This ability to sabotage without detection comes from their deep understanding of people and their surroundings. Sigmas observe, analyze, and calculate. They know what makes others tick, what their weaknesses are, and where they're most vulnerable. With this knowledge, they can exploit flaws and instigate problems without ever seeming involved. It's a skill that can ruin careers, relationships, or reputations, all without anyone ever realizing they've been played. In the world of Sigmas, silence is a weapon. When used correctly, it doesn't just protect them, it ensures that their opponents never see the attack coming. Number 9. Unpredictability. The most dangerous trait of a Sigma is their unpredictability. Unlike others who operate within familiar patterns or follow set routines, Sigmas are constantly shifting, adapting, and changing direction without warning. This makes them incredibly difficult to anticipate, and that uncertainty creates a quiet, underlying fear in those who thrive on stability and predictability. While most people rely on patterns to feel safe or in control, the Sigma defies those expectations, keeping others on edge by never revealing what they'll do next. What makes this trait so powerful is its psychological effect. People tend to fear what they can't predict or control, and the Sigma exploits this weakness effortlessly. Whether in business, relationships, or social settings, their next move is always unknown, making them seem like a force of nature that others can't quite figure out. This ability to keep others guessing gives them an edge, allowing them to operate with a level of freedom and influence that others lack. To the Sigma, unpredictability isn't about chaos or randomness. It's a deliberate tactic, one that allows them to maintain control without ever appearing to try. They understand that by not following a predictable pattern, they leave others scrambling to adjust, always a step behind. This uncertainty is a power in itself, as it keeps people off balance and forces them to react rather than act with intent. In a world where most people seek security through routine and stability, the Sigma's unpredictability is a masterstroke of psychological warfare. It creates discomfort, builds distrust, and keeps others on their toes, always wondering what will come next. And for the Sigma, that's the ultimate advantage. Number 10. Ruthless pragmatism. Sigmas are known for their ruthless pragmatism, an ability to prioritize efficiency, logic, and results over emotions and sentiment. For them, problems are best solved with a clear mind and an objective perspective, not clouded by personal feelings or the complexities of human emotion. This approach allows them to navigate challenges with precision, cutting through the noise and getting straight to the point. They make decisions quickly, not because they don't care, but because they value practical outcomes more than anything else. However, this unwavering focus on logic often leads others to view them as cold or uncaring. Sigmas don't hesitate to make decisions that others might consider harsh, especially when those choices are necessary for achieving their goals. Whether it's cutting ties with people who no longer serve their purpose, or making tough calls in business, They do what's required without second-guessing themselves. While some may see this as heartless to a Sigma, it's simply the most efficient path forward. They understand that emotions can cloud judgment and slow down progress, so they choose to keep them in check. The real danger of ruthless pragmatism lies in its potential for alienation. When others feel that their emotions, needs, or personal connections are disregarded, it can breed resentment and mistrust. Sigmas may not always realize how their actions impact those around them, as their focus remains on the larger picture. But this disconnection from emotional nuance can make them appear unapproachable or even manipulative, even though their intentions are purely practical. While their approach often brings results, it's a double-edged sword. It ensures they get things done, but it also leaves them isolated, sometimes sacrificing relationships or empathy for the sake of efficiency. This can be a powerful tool in the right context, but when misapplied, it can lead to unintended consequences that others might find unforgivable. In wrapping up, being a Sigma isn't about fitting into a mold or living by society's rules. It's about mastering yourself in a world that constantly tries to define you. The traits we've explored aren't just quirks or personality points, they're tools, forged from your ability to think independently, adapt to challenges, and navigate life on your own terms. The most dangerous Sigma trait isn't something others can pinpoint or prepare for. It's the way you leverage all your qualities to remain unpredictable, self-reliant, and impossible to control. You don't follow the crowd, because you've seen what happens when people surrender their identity for approval. You're not afraid to burn bridges or disappear when needed, because you understand that peace and progress require letting go. You thrive in the gray areas where others falter, because your mind isn't bound by the need for easy answers. These are not just survival mechanisms. They are your edge, your strength, and your compass in a chaotic world. But remember this: being a Sigma isn't about alienating yourself or using your abilities selfishly. It's about walking your own path while understanding the power of your choices, the detachment, the adaptability, the ability to see through others. All of it is meant to serve a higher purpose, to live authentically, to protect what matters, and to keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. So, if you resonate with these traits, own them unapologetically. Use them to build a life that aligns with who you truly are. And if you're still discovering your potential, let this be your call to action. Embrace your independence, sharpen your mind, and never let the world define you. This is your power. Now, what will you do with it? Thank you, gents, for tuning in, and God bless.